Alright guys, welcome back to Project Portsmouth. This is Season 5 Part 8, which is the end of season wrap-up for Season 5. And you might not notice, you might notice, I am only going to mention it because, in case you mention anything, I am recording this on the same day as I recorded the previous two parts. And I'm actually not going to get this all recorded tonight. It's midnight, so I just want to record the first little bit with the first sort of introduction to the end of season stuff, and then I'll record the rest tomorrow anyway. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to get 2 videos up either Saturday or Sunday. I'm not sure which day. Probably more likely to be 2 up on Saturday, so by the time you're seeing this you'll already know. There will be 2 previous to this one. So it won't matter anyway, or maybe 1, or this will be the second one on Sunday, or it'll be the first one on Sunday after 2 on Saturday. I'm rambling, just want to let you know. So, overall best 11 squad. This is literally 5 minutes after the last episode. So, El Mac absolutely deserves to be there. He's been there since the start of last season, I believe. You can see here that 3 players have been put in. So, Keanu Hoover goes straight into that right back spot. It's a problem we've had for ages. I think Matheson was in there last time. He probably was lucky to pick it up last time. Obviously, he had a pretty good spell with us. He had a really good season last season, I guess. But Keanu Hoover, without a shadow of a doubt, deserves to be there. So credit where credit is due. And then obviously we've got Watmore and Downing. Downing's one of those players that he was really good for us, but he's not played in the last 2 seasons really. A little bit last season out of necessity, but it's good we're moving on from him. Stewart, really good player. I imagine that we will have Skip in there sort of by this time next year. Harness, I don't know why he's there. I don't know why Barcola's there. I guess, our formation has changed dramatically. Parrott deserves to be there. He had made 12 starts and 11 substitute appearances in the league last season. And actually, to be honest, I was wondering if we could maybe try and loan him again. But obviously Garner's in there as well. A bench of McGillivray, Orojo, Matheson, Curtis, Naylor, Byers and Legali. End of season awards. So our player of the season goes to James Garner. Again, probably deserved. Been our player of the season I think a couple of times now. Legali coming in second place. Again, pretty well deserved. And Keanu Hoover. He gets our goal of the season and our signing of the season. We're going to load up the game against Newcastle to remind ourselves. He was actually playing centre back in this game. Oh, it was a free kick. Yeah, no, wow, it was a very good free kick. I think usually I complain with goal of the seasons, but that was 30 yards out or so. We'll give him the credit for that. He is our signing of the season, 21.5 million. And Garner is still our young player of the season. Our team of the season consists of Norris, Orojo. Norris isn't really good. Watmore, McKenna, El Mac, Hoover, Skip, Garner, Lopez, Kaiser and Legali. It just goes to show how bad we've been in the striking department, considering Kaiser gets that spot. Obviously, he has been improving as a player, but it doesn't really make a difference, considering we're going to give him back 24 starts, 6 substitute appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists. I'm sorry, mate, you have not been good enough, and you will not be staying with us next season, unfortunately. End of season review. Few would have tipped Portsmouth to being capable of avoiding relegation ahead into the season, but Pompey confounded every expectation by achieving a top half finish. One of the competition's surprise packages consistently define expectations and owing largely to an impressive spell of form between January and May that saw him rise to 8th and were able to celebrate a successful campaign. We managed to get a good game against Crystal Palace, 3-2 win, unfortunately right at the start of the season, 4-0 loss to Man United, but in both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup we got to the quarterfinals. Very impressive. We are selling out our stadium. I would like to have a look at potentially getting a new one. But I think before I ask to build, are we already at maximum capacity? I wonder if it will show me. Oh. Capacity is 41,000. I think we are... are we at maximum capacity? I think we are. I wonder if there's anything we can do. We can't... Okay, they're going to expand the stadium. We're not going to be able to build a new one yet, but maybe we can do that at some point soon. So yeah, obviously we are selling out our stadium. we're not use that many players, but that's because we don't have very good squad depth. I'm going to look into that for next season. Club vision and expectations. Next season, we're just expected to fight bravely against relegation. I think that's probably fair given our squad, but as long as they give us enough money, we should be able to do well next season. And I'd hope we can. I'm just gonna accept it, to be honest. We can't even change that to a better level. So I guess we just agree with that. Squad dynamics, Wat Morgana, close, rightful team leaders, end of season meeting. I want to, we're just going to say we're in a good position. We'll do well to stay up and you know it. Oh wow. Only McKenna and Hoover on our side. Oh dear. Wow, these people are really not happy. They're really not happy after that. They really think we're going to struggle to stay up. And again, I'd be inclined to somewhat agree with them. I just really think that with a good little setup. Do you know what? Let's go to Hong Kong. Why not? Lakima refrains from long shots. Planned stadium expansion. We'll be able to expand our stadium. Oh, 13 million. It's going to cost us a lot of money, but we're going to be able to go up by another 9,000, which is really good. Hopefully in a couple of seasons we'll get that back up to a new stadium anyway. So that's the first bit out of the way. Can you shed some light on your relationship with the board? No, because to be honest, I'm not really happy with them. They've not been very kind in terms of their helping us out with transfers. We have a lot of money. Oh wow, I hadn't seen this. We've got 48 million. That is really good. And look at our wage budget. Fantastic. So Deveen's got a new deal. A big wage rise. He was on something like 6k before. Suarez got a new contract. He's not developed like I thought he would. He's actually quite good. If we compare him to El Mac, he's not massively off, and he's 3 years younger. However, he's not as good as I thought he was going to be, and I would like to potentially get a new backup and sell this guy on. Obviously, we bought him in for 40k. I wouldn't mind losing him for 100k. I'm not going to lie to you. Fontaine, new contract. Another player that I want to start bedding into the first team soon. We bought him in for 1.6 mil. I want to start getting him involved very soon. Lopez with a new deal. Probably, I think, our second highest earner now at 34k per week. Or maybe third highest player. £105 million release clause. This guy, he is absolutely amazing. He's been amazing in the championship. He's getting more goal involvements, like 9 assists this season. Really well. Initial budgets, obviously 800k per week on the wage and 48 in the transfer budget. Really nice. We can see here, stadium expansions, we're going to go up. Oh no, it's going to go up to 32, so we're going to get another 4,000 on capacity. That's absolutely fine. We're going to be sharing with Fulham. We're going to upgrade the training facilities. Going to cost us 3.5 million. That's going to take 6 months to complete. And we've been improved our youth category rating, which is very nice. It's going to cost us 5 million a year to run the youth setup, which is absolutely fine with me. We can show you the facilities. We've got great training facilities, excellent youth facilities. At the moment, it's only adequate recruitment, which is why I've upgraded that. Excellent academy coaching now. We are really good. Oh, hang on. Okay, so it's an extra 10,000 seats. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, again, look at our projection. We're projected to just go up and up on money every year. Our expenditure is going to go up, but our turnover is going to go up massively. So, really happy with that. I guess we just move on a bit more. A release clause doesn't expire for another 1.5 years. Is that something you're comfortable with? I'm satisfied. I don't mind. It's a lot of money. If someone wants to pay for it, they can have him for that sort of money. What a player. And also, there's someone. Legali is someone I do actually want to potentially move on, because he does have a lot of. I'll show you Legali, right? Because I do like him, but if we look at his cons here, oh, he's lost them. He had inconsistent. He had hates big matches, and he had injury prone, but now he doesn't. They're gone. Just like that, they're gone. Huh. Interesting. I mean, that changes my mind now. 12, that's a lot of money. Anyway, I've got a lot of scouting stuff to go through. I'll come back when we've got a bit more news. Alrighty, so we've got some interesting news here. Nottingham Forest have met the release clause of George Byers, which is 9 million. And to be honest, it's fine. That's fine. Apparently he's worth slightly more than that, but he is 28 years old. And we definitely need to get a better player in. He's not bad. And I think, you know, if we do struggle to get someone else in, then Rolls could do a job for a temporary amount of time. However, I think with his physicals not being particularly great, and he's technically quite good, he's just got a few gaps, and to be honest, I do think that we can bring in someone better. So we're going to get 8.75 million into transfer budget. I'm absolutely fine with that. And yeah, that was it for the moment. This is actually quite an interesting one, guys. We've had an offer of 25 million for Scott McKenna, which of course we're going to reject. But it's quite a bit of money, and you know, he's been fantastic for us. But he's not irreplaceable. You know, if we can get a couple of players in, there's one centre back from Brazil I'm looking at. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get a work permit, but he's definitely better than Scott. But you know, 25 million, we don't really need the money. We're alright for money at the moment, but you know, when we get to sort of 35, we have to start considering these things. But for now, we're going to reject the offer. Just a little update to say that George Byers has rejected a contract offer for Nottingham Forest. It's not ideal, but I guess we move and hopefully he'll get another offer for him at some point. Alright guys, just a couple of little things to show you, nothing massively interesting, but we've agreed to give a bit more wage budget to technical director. We'll look to replace him because he's not a very good one at the moment. We've got our fixtures. To opening day we're going to be playing against Watford. Final day we've got Sheffield United, and Boxing Day we've got Crystal Palace. You can see our first 5 fixtures here. A couple of really tough ones in there, but we did, I think we beat Chelsea at once this season, so we should be alright. And we've made £92 million of television rights over the course of the season, which will keep us afloat, will keep us increasing money every year. The expectations now are finished mid-table. That is interesting, and we can't change that either. Yeah, that is a bit of a shock, but that's fine. We'll go with it. Considering I don't know where we're expected to finish, we haven't made any signings yet. We had a couple of players. There's a really, really good goalkeeper to replace Elmac. And we got him for something like 2.5 million. But unfortunately couldn't get a work permit despite playing for Inter Milan. I actually would like to show you him. So I can show you where I was going with it. I assume he's in the under 20 squad. He was 21, I think. Where is he? Oh, maybe he's in their main squad. Yeah, this guy. A really good goalkeeper. He wasn't massively better than Elmac, but you can see there are some key stats, some of his physicals. You know, aerial reach, command of area, handling, kicking, reflexes, the things that remain really important. He is better than Elmac at. Unfortunately, couldn't get a work permit for him, which was a shame. Like I said, we only offered something like 2 million and we got him, so. But unfortunately we couldn't get him, but on another day we'll try and find someone else. In terms of squad selection, same as usual. You got to have the player trained in England. We've got loads at the moment. We are going to lose a couple because of their players such as Downing and Bass are going to be leaving the club, but we should be fine. But I'll come back when we've got a bit more information. Right, now Bristol City are just being cheeky. He's got a release clause of 9 million. They've offered 9.5, but they want us to pay £15,500 of his wages. That's absolutely ridiculous. Apparently he's going to become unsettled if we can't speak to him, but I'm so sorry. There is no chance I'm letting that happen. And obviously he wants to discuss personal matters. I'm going to see if Close can resolve it. He isn't on this occasion. So I'm going to say to him, they want us to pay your wages, mate. And they want us to continue. I'm not going to accept that. I've already told you I want to leave, and I expect that to happen regardless. It's my dream move. It's very difficult if you don't let me leave. Right, we're just going to say to him, you have a release clause, and if they meet it, you can go. But other than that, so Aberdeen have made an offer as well. What is their offer? 8k. See, that's a bit different. That's not as bad. It's still not great, but they only want to pay £8. I'm going to stall that offer. Hopefully, someone else comes in and makes a better offer. I don't want to pay his wages. It's just ridiculous, but I'll let you know if anything else happens. So we got a player here that the actual work permit has been agreed, so we can sign him. I'm just unsure about if I want to or not, because he's got good heading and good jumping reach, so he probably, to be honest, is a better centre-back. Do I think he's better than what we have? No. Do I think I might be overpaying for him? Yes. That's the only thing. So it'll be 10.25 million all up front. I'm going to be paying him 29.5k a week. He's got some incredible stats, and as a centre-back, apart from his marking being quite low, he's an incredible centre-back. I'm just not convinced. Obviously, we paid that because of his release clause was 10.25 million. I'm not convinced, and I think for that reason, I'll only end up regretting this. Like, if we compare him to Araujo, who's probably the best one to compare with. Okay, yeah, he's got better heading, and that's it, really, physically, that's important. Okay, his mental stats are quite good. There's nothing really there that's a problem. He's better in most things. And obviously slightly slower, slightly less agile, but better in everything else than Araujo. I just don't feel like it's enough of an upgrade to warrant 10.25 million. You know, if we look at our wage, it's going to take off quite a bit of that. And I think we can probably spend a bit wiser. So I think I'm going to delay it for now, and I'll let you know what I decide. So the new player that we got on a free we signed earlier in the season, or last season, was Alberto Caruso. Apparently he's a B signing, good striker to have. I do think his finishing is quite low. He is now worth 8.25 million. And I think it's mainly just because his off the ball and his physicals are actually insane. He's not going to play for us, to be quite honest. I don't think, I'm not sure if under 23s is a good idea. We're going to move into under 23s for now, see what it comes up with. But like I said, I'm really happy with him, even if it's just someone we sell on for profit. Which, talking of selling on for profit, there's a couple of players I really want to let go, such as Penaranda and Asanuma. And Penaranda, I've agreed with him that if we get an offer for 9.25 million, I'll let him go. Unfortunately, everyone keeps offering 2 million, and it's miles off what we want, and we're not going to agree to it. But we're going to welcome the squad back from pre-season. Everyone needs to be a little bit more optimistic. We'll do well to set up, and I'm sorry, I can't. No. Everyone's unhappy, but again, we are not going to just try and avoid relegation. We need to do better than avoid relegation. We've got a couple of loan offers. Bolton would like Asanuma, which realistically just goes to show where he is in terms of his quality. He's going to be an important player for a League One side. Again, I'm not going to accept the offer because I would like to sell him, but we're going to keep it in mind just in case. So obviously we actually have a training camp in China. We're obviously going to include our youth prospects. Lopez would be a good player for most Premier Division sides. What an absolute legend this guy is. I can't get over how amazing he is. I keep saying it. But it's just his development in the last 12 months that's really shocked me. But yeah, really good to have him improving. Apparently Scott McKenna would be a good captain. Probably would, but I think it's harsh to take it away from... it'd be really difficult to take it away from Ben Close, but... yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go away, and again, same as usual, we'll come back when we've got some more news. I've made a decision that I want to sell Byers to Aberdeen. We are going to be paying 8k of his wages for the next 12 months. What's that? A 96k we're going to be paying, but we're getting 9.25 million, so to be quite honest, I'm going to let him go now. I haven't got a replacement in just yet, but we're still only on the 3rd of July, there's plenty of time. And I'll be looking around for a good replacement. Alright guys, Penaranda. He just didn't work out. I knew he would never be a first choice striker, but I just thought he'd be slightly better than what he was. Now, we bought him for 2.7. It says he's worth 8.5, and I'm going to be honest guys, I'm letting him go. I'm letting him go for a transfer. A transfer that could rise to 3.5 million. He's just not going to make it. He's a little bit older. He's actually got good stats, but for some reason it's just not working for him. And I probably should have checked it before we signed him. It's never really worked for him at all. You know, he had an alright season at Benevento in the Serie B, but other than that, he's never really succeeded, so that was my fault. We're going to let him go. We haven't got to pay any of his wages, so we're just going to say you found it hard to settle in I thought I was fitting in just fine. Okay, cool. Well, he's gone. And we have got a player we're about to bring in, although I don't think we're going to get it sorted before the next match. Just having a look at the players, because we've got... Oh, okay, it looks quite good. I've got a player that I want to bring in. I'll just show you him. And I'll show you him when we get there. But for now, I'm just going to get into the next friendly. Alrighty guys, so this is our left back signing. Obviously we've been looking to try and replace Norris, and this is probably the best we're going to get. He's not incredible. He's pretty good. If we compare him to, let's say, Devine, because Devine is better than Norris. Let's compare him. So he's probably a bit better than Devine. Who I think Devine would be a really, really good backup anyway. But this guy, we brought him in, he's going to pay all his wages, 38k, and we've got an optional fee of 28.5 million. So basically, we're just going to see how he gets on this year. If he has a really good season, we can activate the 28.5. If he doesn't have a good season, then we just don't sign him. It's optional. So I think we're going to go for that. We're going to sign him. Oh. No. He actually looks quite good, this guy, but don't really need another striker. Although we should have a couple of strikers coming in, going out. So it's apparently he's a squad player, could improve, good division left back, Premier Division left back. He's pretty good. But let's get him signed up onto the registration. But yeah, that's what I wanted to do for now. Just show you that. I guess we'll make him... Do we have a number 3? No, Devine's already got number 3, so I guess he can have 450. Go on. Maybe next season we'll get the number 3 shirt. But that was it for now. And I'll show you if anything else comes in. Alright guys, so Asanuma's going to be leaving the club. We've made a bit of a loss on him. We're going to let him go for $250,000. He definitely is worth more than that, 100%. I think this is probably about right, 1.3 million. And we obviously have lost a bit of money on him. We bought him for 2 million. But to be honest, just to get him out of the club, he's not even on high wages. Or 16 is quite high. I just don't see him having a future at the club. So we are going to let him go. We've just not developed much as I would have liked. So he has left. He has left? That was terrible. He has left the club. And, I say it's a shame, but it had to happen. So we'll move on from him. And then we've got Bayakov who's come back from loan. So, yeah, it's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. So, yeah, I'll let you know what else happens. So we've got the Premier Division title odds once again, same as we did last season. And look where we are, predicted to finish second to bottom. Like, again, we haven't made too many signings just yet, but there's still a couple of weeks before the first game, and I've got a couple in mind, but I find this laughable. After we finished 8th last season, even the board expect us to finish mid-table. But yeah, that was just something worth showing you. Alrighty guys, so we have another signing. It's Billy Gilmore, 23-year-old midfielder now. Obviously we're about to start our 6th season, so that's why he's 23 now. But, it was a large wage, 79k per week. We put him as an important player, £80 million release clause. I feel he's a funny one because I haven't fully scouted him. Or have I fully scouted him now? I think I've just fully scouted him. I think he's really good. He's a really good deep line playmaker. He's basically the replacement to Close. Now, we have a lot of midfielders. We have a lot of players at the club in general. I'm trying to loan as many players out as I can. But we're going to sign this guy. Basically it's for a total of 9.25 million, which I think is really worth it. He was transfer listed. We're trying to get rid of a few players. Like I said, we've got an overload of players who just aren't good enough. You can see here, squad's now overloaded with midfield orchestrators, which is very much the case. Close, obviously, unfortunately, won't be getting much game time this season, just due to his... I don't want to give him number 10. Let's give him number 18. Because of the players we've got in now, because we're really trying to take the step to the next level. I really want to kind of take us to that next level, and we're not really... I don't know. It's gonna be very difficult. We've also got another signing, Rafa, £19 million. It's going to come in as our star centre back. He is really, really good. Like I said, for £19 million release clause, I don't think it's too much of an overpayment. He's got a couple of obviously he's got a minimum fee release clause here, but we're going to look to try and get rid of that at some point in the next couple of years. But we're going to bring him in as well. I think it's really good. I think it's maybe slight overpayment. but he's going to be absolutely amazing. So we're going to get him into the team, send him on intensive language course, and get our Rojo to welcome in. So now, oh no, so William DaCosta match higher Cerner fee. Okay, that's fine. We now have an awful lot of players. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what effectively our team is going forward now. Oh, well, actually, let's go forward one more day to get Rafa in. Oh, he's on international duty anyway, so we can't use him. Okay, well, I'm going to show you who we're going to bring. Should I just do it at the end? I'll do it when we get to Watford, because there's still time for things to happen in this game. And things that we're looking to do. So yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, so we are effectively on the day of the Watford game, and I wanted to take you through what's happened in pre-season, where we are in terms of transfers, what our predictions are for the seasons, and stuff like that. So first of all, we're going to take you through our pre-season games. We started off with a trip to, please don't butcher me, I believe China, Hong Kong, which is part of China, so I'll take that. Well, kind of. It's very complicated, and I don't want to get in trouble. So we absolutely smashed the three teams, 13, 12, and 13-0, and it was pretty much just a chance to get match sharpness. I wasn't necessarily trying to go for the wins, but we then did a little cup, which is quite funny, really. I called it the Harris Cup. So we played the semi-final against Lens, who were in the second tier of France. We got a 3-0 win against them, very comfortable, although two of them were penalties. And Carosso, who's our new signing, he managed to get himself a goal. Then we played Tottenham literally the day after. That was the only problem with this tournament. It wouldn't let me do it any other way. You had to do it back-to-back days. But that's fine. We lost 2-0. It's not the end of the world. It was a fairly close game. We just lost on the day, unfortunately, despite having a couple of good performances. And to be fair, a very rotated team. We then played, just under a week ago, we played Benfica, and absolutely demolished them. Keanu Hoover doing absolute bits for us once again. He got 2 chances created, 2 key passes, and 2 goals in this game. Watmore and Bello. So all our goals came from our defence. Bello gets his first goal for the club, and I think he's going to be really good for us. I really hope he is anyway. So, and obviously we've got that £28 million option to buy for next season. But the thing is, someone might come along who's the same age or slightly younger and slightly better for 10 mil. So we may not keep him, but he's an option. So obviously that's our pre-season games out of the way. Let me take you through the transfers. So, on the ins, Alberto Caruso, obviously we've got him on free from Juventus. Good little player, needs to work on his finishing. I don't know if I've actually asked him to do that. I haven't, so we are going to do that now. Hopefully that'll increase his shooting. He's actually not great in terms of mental or physical or technical, but at the moment his physicals are going to carry him. Obviously we've got Bello on loan, like I've just mentioned, with that option to buy for 28.5 million. So we'll see how he gets on this season. Then we've got Billy Gilmore, 9.25 million. He's worth more than that, obviously now 15 million. He hasn't played for me yet because he's, what's his negative? He has a little presence in the dressing room, okay. Yeah, he hasn't played yet because he's been slightly injured, but only a little bit. He's ready to play for the next game, and we'll have to just see where he fits in. He might not be a guaranteed starter, but he'll be a good player. Then we've got Rafa, maybe slight overpayment, 19 million. We bought him from the Brazilian division, yeah, from Brazil, and he's put in some good performances when he's been in Brazil, so hopefully he can replicate that for us this season. Really, really good physicals, good mentals, good technicals, only 21 years old. He's capped at under 23 level for Brazil. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a full cap by the end of the season. So, really, really good player. I'm happy to have him in. He's been on international duty, so he's not even ready for the Watford game, but he'll be ready for the following game. In terms of the outs, a few players. Manley, gone out back on loan. He's good tackling, but other than that, he's really lacking, so hopefully he'll come back a better player. We've then got Samuel Suarez. Apologies if you can pick up a bit of background noise there. Someone's doing something outside. I'm actually going to close the window. So hopefully that is slightly better, although he might still pick it up. So obviously Byers went for 9.25 million. He's a good little player, but I think he's just never really going to quite get good enough for the Premiership. He's good in the Championship, but after that, maybe not. Like I said, they actually had a really good season in the Championship, but in the Premier League, nah, not really. So that was him gone. Peñaranda's obviously gone for 3.5 million. He just never was going to make it. Asanuma's gone for a lot less than he probably should have, but I didn't see him developing enough. Tsungi, really good little backup, but he's gone out on loan. I think he'll be the sort of player that will be worth a couple of million in next season. I'll probably cash in on him because he's getting a little bit older now. Same with Walcott. I don't think he's going to be worth much. He might be worth 750k by the end of the season, I hope. And we'll move him on, but we bought him in for free, so that's fine. Anything's a profit. Bayakov. You might remember him. Obviously, he signed for us for 1.3 million. I think he's going to be good. He just isn't going to fit into our team at the moment. He's on loan to Newcastle, who are in the Premier League. So hopefully he can do well with Newcastle and come back and be good for us. I don't think he's going to be their first choice striker. You can see Jansen's probably going to be their first choice striker. Mentally fantastic. But he'll be a good backup for them, and hopefully he can bag himself a few goals when he plays. Barcoda's gone out on loan. Again, he's not... Obviously, we don't play with that formation, and he's just not quite good enough for us. Hopefully he will improve, and we'll sell him on for 5-6 million in the end of the year. McKay, another youngster. Good youngster. I hope he'll be really good for Crew in League One, and he'll come back and play for us, I hope. DiMaggio, Wright Phillips, we've let him go. We let him go for less than we should have. But looking at him, if you look at... let's just look at his stats for a second. Really, really good crossing and dribbling. Really good for a winger. And he's really quick. Good pace. Good acceleration. That is it. That is the only thing he's good at. We've let him go for 750k. We made a bit of a profit. Maybe we've undersold him. I don't care. We just wanted to get him out of the squad. He's getting on a bit now as well. Manzagala Singer. Another player who we bought him for decent money when we were in the Championship. Never quite made it. He's not been great in Birmingham, but he's gone to Millwall now. Millwall are in the Championship, so hopefully he can do well for them. Hardley, who's he's now like our fifth choice centre back. Get him some regular game time in the Championship. Hopefully he can come back a better player. And this guy, I just want him gone, but I couldn't get a sale, so we're getting him on loan. So in terms of the transfers, there is still one more transfer I'm looking to make. We've got Armini fell through. He actually wanted to go to a different club, but I'm glad because it means we got Rafa instead, so that's not a problem. But we've got Chris Mockery. Apparently his value is 46k, but I think it's because he's on like a play as you play. He's on a month-to-month contract. His contract's actually expired. That's kind of the reason. But our scouts think he's very good. If you look at his as a kind of advanced playmaker, he is pretty good. He's definitely better than Byers. I don't think he's much better than he's probably slightly better than Rolls as well. But we've made a contract offer for him, and I'm going to give him just 24k just to sweeten it because he's currently got a couple of people interested. So hopefully he picks our contract. So let's have a look. That's basically the transfers for now. Like I said, we might have a couple more come in. Look at the finances. We still got £31 million in the transfer budget, although our wage budget is getting towards the top end now. We're getting a little bit tight. But we still got good money. We're still making money every month. If you see, lost this season of 26 million. But that, we spent, how much did we spend? 28 million. So we're still making money, just. So that's always really good. So finances are good. Then we can have a look at our projection for the league. So we go to competition, English Premier Division. We were obviously predicted to finish second bottom. We're now predicted to finish third bottom based on our transfers. We've got no one here in the Media Dream 11. I'm not surprised. Obviously, I didn't expect us to at this stage. But hopefully we can do something good here. So you see all these big transfers going through. We can actually search by fee. Milton, this guy, what's really funny about this guy is I looked at him a couple of years ago when he was at Gremio. I saw him, I scouted him, and I was like, oh, he does look like a really good player, but we couldn't afford him, and now he moved to Manchester City for 116 million. What a player. William Saliba as well going to Manchester United, an absolute outrage. Hate to see it, but yeah. So hopefully we're going to finish mid-table like we're predicted to. We're still sticking with this tactic. It seems to work really well for us at the end of last season, and it's done well in pre-season despite maybe playing some not great players. A few players we're looking to get rid of still. I'm not sure about loan-in players because we're not quite... I don't want to get... Players like Fontaine, we should be loaning him because he needs regular game time, but he's just too important if we have any injuries. If you look at our midfield, Garner, Close, Lopez play in the middle. So does Rolls, but Rolls is playing further forward at the moment until maybe that new guy comes in. Then we have Rolls, Gilmore, and Fontaine. So like Fontaine's maybe 6th choice if Rolls drops back. Maybe we should get rid of him. I don't know. Not get rid of him, maybe loan. He's loan listed, but I've not offered him out to clubs. No one's really interested at the moment. I'd like someone to pay a little bit of his wages, even if it's only like 40%. Let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get a loan offer for him, but for now, I don't know if there's much else to show. You can look at our staff. Our coaching staff is now amazing. I've improved it quite a lot. The scouting has improved a lot, but it's still not 100%. I actually could get another scout. I think that's part of the... I think we should get another scout, and I also think we should get another technical director. I'm not really a fan of technical... Oh, we can't place an advert because we've already got one, but yeah, these are the things we're looking at. I might even try and get another physio. Like I said, we're trying to really build up the infrastructure of the club. We've still got our stadium expansion. It's not going to be done until the end of the season. But that will give us sort of an extra 10k seats, I believe, or 8k seats. That'll be really good. Training facilities should be completed on their upgrade by November, so that's going to really help. You can see the board are being fairly good. You know, they're not amazing, but they're fairly good. So always nice. And we're happy with the wage budget, transfer budget. We've got to finish mid-table. We've got to get 4th round and 3rd round of the FA Cup and Carabao Cup respectively. But I think we're going to be really good, and I'm very hopeful. Last thing, because I realise this episode is probably shorter than normal, I'm going to take you through the under-23s very quickly. Araujo, Norris and Mangazagala obviously don't count, but you got Jeffrey Mars, who's played a few games on the off-season for me, had a really, 3 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist, been really good. He's obviously the one who's been our hot prospect for pretty much the entire little while. Yeah, he's still our hot prospect. He's going to be a good fullback, but he's got so many gaps. Like, crossing's really poor. Like, if he was a wing back on, like, maybe defend, yeah, he'd be pretty good, I guess. But he needs to improve his crossing. But I guess he's only 18. He'll be really good. Thompson's had a few games for the first team. Obviously not this season. He made 2 cup appearances last year. I'm hopeful that this guy could be really good as well. He's already got the technicals. His mentals are pretty poor, but he can improve them. So you can see here we've got a few players with the high potentials: Mars, Barnett, and Barnett. I'm really hopeful that can be really good as well. So that's the under 23s. Under 18s, nothing too spectacular at the moment, but we've got McLaughlin, who we've had a couple of offers, big offers for him. I think we've had a £2 million offer come in for him, but we're going to keep hold of him. So that's it really. I don't think there's anything else to show you. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like on the video. I will catch you for the Watford game in the next episode, and then we'll probably, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play Watford in the next episode, and then we'll skip to the Carabao Cup first round and play that one. No, we will play Watford, and then we'll play... play Watford and then the Carabao Cup game, and we'll finish off the transfer window. So if you have enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Take care, and goodbye.